What if the most famous moment of the 20th century never actually happened? What if the moon landing was staged and the world had been watching a lie? In our timeline, Neil Armstrong stepped onto the lunar surface and 500 million people watched live. But what if the cameras were rolling in a secret studio instead? Imagine a Cold War America desperate to beat the Soviets, willing to fake the impossible to win the space race. By the late 1960s, the United States was losing. The Soviets had launched Sputnik, sent the first human to space, and were pressing toward the moon. Kennedy's promise to land a man there by the end of the decade looked increasingly impossible. A faked landing would have been the ultimate propaganda victory. In this alternate history, NASA and the government build a secret film set. Actors in spacesuits, slow-motion wires, and carefully controlled lighting recreate the lunar surface on Earth. Directors, scientists, and intelligence agents sign secrecy oaths, knowing the fate of American prestige depends on the lie. On July 20, 1969, the fake broadcast goes live. The world sees a fuzzy, ghostly figure descend a ladder and plant a flag. Every frame is analyzed for decades. But in this timeline, the shadows are wrong, the flag moves without wind, and there are no stars in the sky because the set designers forgot the black velvet backdrop. If the moon landing were faked, the conspiracy would have to be enormous. Thousands of engineers, astronauts, and journalists would need to stay silent. In this world, whistleblowers disappear, documents are classified, and anyone who questions the official story is mocked or silenced. The Soviet Union had the intelligence and the motive to expose a fake. In our timeline, they tracked Apollo 11 and confirmed the landing. But in this alternate history, Moscow stays quiet because both superpowers are hiding their own space secrets, locked in a mutual lie that neither can afford to break. If humans never reached the moon, space exploration might have stalled. Without the Apollo triumph, NASA would lose funding and public support. The shuttles, the space station, and the dream of Mars might never materialize. Space would remain a place only for robots and spy satellites. In this world, independent astronomers and physicists face a choice. Some accept the official story because the evidence is too hard to fake. Others point to missing telemetry, suspicious photographs, and the impossibility of surviving radiation in deep space. Science itself becomes politicized. A faked moon landing would reshape trust in institutions. Every major event afterward would be questioned. Wars, assassinations, and disasters would be seen through a lens of suspicion. The conspiracy movement would grow from a fringe belief into a dominant force in public life. Our timeline has overwhelming evidence that humans walked on the moon. But imagining a faked landing reminds us how fragile trust can be, and how much history depends on the stories we choose to believe. The real achievement was not just reaching the moon, it was proving that we could.